What is up, guys? Welcome to Salt Mines, episode 10. We are currently live. We're kind of just messing around, previewing a track by our very own Gallo. Trying to, I guess, find our theme a little bit there. So, we have NZA joining us again.
Hey.
We have
Long
Guru.
time.
Yo.
And the aforementioned Gallo.
Yo, where's my Twitter, dude? It's
Where's
not
your
there.
Twitter? I know. I'm getting on
Frequency.
it. I was too busy trying to figure out why VLC hates us so much.
Don't you know I post so much on Twitter? People need to see it.
Even when we pre-download the videos, they still refuse to work. So it's just a really good start.
Gallo, when the kids see you, do they call you Anthony or Tony?
Which kids? What are you talking about?
Talking about the people.
The people.
The people.
My people or the people?
The people.
Damn, the people. I don't know. Everyone calls me Gallo. Like, everyone. It's
Like
not
your
even
mom
a joke.
calls you
like,
Gallo?
I don't know what my mom calls me, dude.
Anthony.
Go eat your breakfast right now, mister.
Anthony.
Or I'm gonna take away Project M from you.
People at work call me Messy, so it is like that thing that does.
That's because
stick
your
with
first name is like 4 syllables, dude.
it's
your first
it's
name is
not
a
even that hard.
Dude, your first name is
Just call him Joe.
Your first name is a Japanese last name.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome to
Just
Salt
it.
Mines, guys. We haven't even started; it's already gone off the rails. So this show we're gonna kind of try to recap last week because Go Twitch opt-in. I'm gonna even hit start recording on my OBS right now just in case. That way it's like the real start. So even if you lost all that banter, who cares? So we're gonna cover some of the things that we talked about last week. If you guys missed it, you're in luck. If not, it's a refresher course for those of you joining us again. And one of the things that I definitely wanted to bring up is a bunch of shout outs. You guys have been awesome, particularly this week. I don't know what happened, but I was checking my inboxes around and it was like an outpour of really nice things, which is really, I mean, it's weird. The internet is scary.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So first thing goes to Jade Eyes, who's a smasher from Alaska, who messaged me and was just kind of saying really nice things about how the Alaskan scene is only PM. Melee didn't make it. Brawl didn't make it. And PM is kind of like just kind of hitting its peak over there and mentioned how he goes across the state in Alaska to go to these weeklies, which sometimes could be rough because they don't have an actual road system. When I read that, I just pictured like Balto and him with like a Wii, like a Wii strapped to his back, and he's just like mushing through. And that was really awesome of him.
So maybe Guru is not the best in Alaska like he claims.
I can't make that claim anymore.
It's like that.
Apparently not.
The trailer for that movie with that chick where she takes her shoes off and she walks like the Australian like wilderness, but instead of like her shoes on her shoulders, she's wearing like there's a controller. Like that's what I'm imagining.
Shout outs to Alaska.
Yeah. Shout outs to Palin.
Good segue into Australia. good segue to Australia because the next person is the Bear's Fist, who
From Australia?
from Perth, Australia.
Yo.
Nice.
And said how we just recently started a twice-a-week tournament, and their attendance is growing pretty steadily. And then went on to say the nicest thing I've ever heard, and this includes anything my family's ever told me. He went on to say that I replaced Prague as his favorite commentator, and that was just like,
Oh,
yeah. I kind of freaked out reading that.
Messi Prague money match.
No, oh man.
Commentary
Only, yeah. Commentary money match. Whoever can avert to the most puns wins. And last but not least, it's Awkward, who actually started a weekly in his home, and their attendance has been growing really, really well. And it's gotten to the point where they actually have to start looking for a venue. So the guy's like literally inviting his friends over, and then word gets out, and more people come over. And before you know it, they got like 2 or 3 setups in the house, and they're working through that.
that's how it starts, man.
Good for him.
That's honestly how it starts.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to have their video playing in the background. Once again, excuse it. We downloaded the videos ahead of time. We did everything the right way, but VLC just hates us. So I'll have some videos up in a little bit. But without further ado, let's go right back into it. Last week we talked about the differences in basically like a grassroots versus an esports kind of aspect to it, and how it's not always Nintendo's fault when something doesn't go right in the PM community. Sometimes it really just is a situation where we just don't have enough setups and we don't have enough people to help and run around and do certain things. And I think, NZA, you really want to bring a couple things up about that.
Yeah. I mean, last week's episode, you guys might remember we referenced, I think it was KTAR 11, like that's coming up that isn't having PM, right? And
Right, yeah.
KTAR 10 and KTAR 9 were kind of disasters as far as like timing goes and scheduling goes. And for Kitaro's credit, he has said that he's taking major steps to make sure this one is on time.
Right.
But it kind of puts something that came to my attention that I think rarely people conceive of or perceive the situation in the terms of is that we have never in the history of the Smash community ever had 3 games with like large viable communities that all need attention. If you think about it, there was Melee and Brawl that overlapped for a bit where there was like large communities for both. And then in 2013, there was Melee and PM. In 2014, Melee and PM. And now you have Melee, PM, and Smash 4. This is the first time we've had all 3 Smash games, with like a huge amount of attention and tons of people playing it who all want space to play. And when you start thinking about the logistics of that, like let's say each game, let's say Melee brings in, these days 800 to 1,000 unique players. And Smash 4 brings somewhere between 500 and 800, depending on what's going on. And I think PM, if given the chance, would bring in 300 to 500 as well. And you start looking at like those numbers, and you start crunching them and adding them together. And suddenly it looks insane how many people need to be assembled and how big a space needs to be to accommodate that.
It's a nightmare for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Guru, do you have anything to add to that?
No, yeah, and I mean, I'm still relatively a new TO myself. So just the prospect of having to run 3 events in even 2 days.
Yeah, in 2 days.
Just
That's the main
seems like
thing.
even in 2 days, that's just such a nightmare, especially if you want to run doubles as well and side events. You want to try crew battles, just to like help the community, because crew battles are a nice thing to come about recently. So you want to please the crowd and the stream monsters, and it's just very hard logistically just to juggle all that when you have 3 games. 2 games would be hard enough. 3 games would be a nightmare. So I can definitely see and understand Keitaro's decision, among other TOs, and having to drop certain games, usually PM, in favor of Melee and Smash 4.
Yeah, and it's like it's adding a 3rd day if you suddenly need to do that.
Yeah.
That's huge. People
And that's
underestimate how much more money that is. That's 33% more of like a budget that you're paying out in order to reserve that space, and it just becomes unmanageable. And so here's kind of like where we get into a situation that we have to really we have to be reflective about, is that when Nintendo stops paying attention to the competitive Smash community or whatever, when they like have their time, that doesn't mean PM suddenly comes back. And that's something really scary that we got to kind of consider and prepare for. And part of why we need our own grassroots community that's independent of Smash 4 and Melee, because Smash 4, like, it would need to really crash and burn, I think, for it to stop attending these tournaments alongside Melee. Which, could happen, whatever. Like, maybe it will, maybe it won't, who knows. But until then, like, if that doesn't happen, PM really needs to be able to be self-sufficient and self-sustaining, because we've already seen that people have a obsessive appreciation or love for the official Smash games. Like, them being official means something, regardless of whether we like it or not.
Right.
And so I don't see Melee or Smash 4 disappearing from any tournaments.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Or actually, Gallo, you have something to say about that?
Yeah, we also we want to start our own tournaments because it's not fun for us to have to wait in 2-day tournaments for our matches, and like unorganized tournaments just aren't fun to be a part of, honestly.
Yeah.
So we also want to start our own tournaments just so we could have a good time actually attending them. We don't want to go to a tournament just have a bad time just because our game is like in it or something.
Well, Let me ask you guys a question then. How do you guys see, I guess, supporting maybe a stream that hasn't gotten a sub button? Are there any other ways you feel like you can support that weekly, support that stream, support that part of the community, or maybe start some type of a fund for those tournaments that you guys want to start that are PM
Donations
centric?
are a huge thing for sure. Donations is like the main thing, I would think.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there something you had brought up, NZA? It's something like
Yeah, yeah.
Patreon.
Like basically, I think that a lot of these small streams are going to be the ones that become trailblazers for starting regionals, for investing money in like convention centers and things like that will host PM regionals and nationals. And part of what we need to do is we need to create pot bonuses that incentivize people from 3 states over, 5 states over, 10 states over to come over to your tournament, so that it does start to feel like, the competition isn't just your isolated bubble and fishbowl. And so Patreon was one solution I considered that I need to explore more personally for Smashing Grounds. But Patreon is basically it's similar to Kickstarter, except it acts much more like a subscribe button, because it's about, you can do one-time payments, but you can also do like monthly donations of like, you could subscribe at any a dollar amount. So you could say like, I want to submit $2 every month for the rest of the year. And you do that for a group that has a Patreon, such as Smashing Rounds might have a Patreon, for example.
And what some people don't realize is when you guys subscribe to a Twitch channel, only really 250 is going toward that channel. Twitch gets the other half. So
Yeah.
it is a good way to support those small weeklies that might be starting up around your area that maybe have the idea of getting a bigger pop bonus and don't have the wherewithal or the funds at that time. And what you can do is you can add like a 250 subscribe, which is half what you would normally be paying for subscribe button in Twitch anyway, but you're still showing your support toward that channel. And who knows, they maybe get like 25, maybe 50 subscribers, and that last weekly of the month can be a monthly, and it has that pop bonus at the end for those players. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity that we can explore together when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, I would really highly recommend everybody go to patreon.com and create a Patreon account. It takes it takes literally 1 minute. Like, you just put in your first name, last name, email address. And if you have that, then maybe as a PM community for those streams that aren't getting partnerships, like they can try and focus on still getting revenue sources, so that they can start to. I know that we want it. For instance, we're gonna have Guts. We're gonna have Guts 4. That's gonna be massive. But before that, we would like to hold some regionals and things like that can have $500 pop bonuses and the like, and attract like attention all over. So hopefully that's a future for a lot of streamers that they can tap into.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. It seems like with everything happening with Twitch and Nintendo recently, the Project M community is going to have to basically fund themselves to get all these big tournaments going on, and tournaments cost money no matter what. So it's up to the community to really fund their own tournaments and keep the momentum going, because partnerships are hard nowadays, especially for Project M tournaments. They're getting increasingly rare, unfortunately. So we just have to take action ourselves, take the initiative.
It looks like if we want to grow, we have to help ourselves grow.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Motivational words from the rare Anthony Gallo, man.
The rare me.
Let's do it.
Just the rare you is optimistic and hopeful. I see a twinkle in your eye,
All
man.
right.
You see a better future ahead of you.
Try to say I'm
ahead,
pessimistic
definitely.
normally. Okay.
I'm
a downer.
He's got a little bit of a point, just a little bit. So is there anything else from last week that you guys felt like was just something we should touch upon again? Maybe in particular that kind of stuck out to you, besides the fact that you wanted to make Mewtwo King a playable character.
Oh yeah. The accountant.
Rob is already a character. Silly.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing. Mewtwo King is not the robot anymore. That's not what we're calling him anymore. I refuse to call him that.
What do you
Because
call him?
Robot implies that he analyzes the situation.
He's just
and
skinny
thinks-
me. That's his name.
Eh,
Clearly.
A robot, yeah, Fat Mango and Skinny Gallo. Skinny Gallo grand finals. R.I.P. Austin. But the robot implies that he can look at situations and use frame data and intense game knowledge to pick perfect solutions. That's not how Mewtwo King plays Project M. Like, the dude runs away and shoots lasers. He just makes a list while he's playing. He just makes a list of risks and liabilities. This man does not want to fight off. He does not want to interact. He wants to pick the most risk-free options ever. He's the
I
accountant.
think a computer would do that. They would choose
The
the least
safest option.
risk, the safest option with the most
Well,
benefits.
what Niz is
But
trying to
he's
say
one.
is he's
Depends
like
on the computer, I guess.
he's trying to say he's a vagina computer.
Yeah.
That he doesn't want to take any risks, and he doesn't. I mean, am I wrong? Is that
Play to
like the
win,
more
man.
blunt way of putting
Vaginal
it?
computer.
Play to
A
win,
vaginal
man.
computer?
Well,
I'm
you're
just
a
saying
Johns
robot.
right now.
When I think robot, I think Terminator. I think he disarms you. You know, like he just knows everything. Like he's got the scanner gone.
So
When
he's
I
a
think of
vaginal
Mewtwo
probe.
King, I think of like, well, there's some liabilities here. I might gain some risk there, so let me just
He's the
shave
pink
off a
Rob.
little bit there and
I know. It's a pink Rob color. That's what he is.
fucking
He's the
stupid.
pink Rob.
Pink rock color.
All right. So something that we definitely need to touch on, and it was brought up by you guys. You guys actually made a blog post, Guru and the DT team.
Guru wrote that. All
Yeah,
of
oh
it.
yeah, it was all Guru.
Send
Oh,
all
we could
hate
tell
to
it.
Guru. You got his Twitter right there.
Make sure you guys
Submitted
let Guru know how you really feel about this situation. You know you're gonna get a bigger backlash tomorrow than you are tonight. You're gonna go to sleep thinking
Gonna
it's
get so much
okay,
hate mail.
and then tomorrow morning when Europe awakens, you're done. The PAL version kind of got derailed a little bit. Seems like it's gonna be heavily off schedule from the quote unquote soon. And then the Japan version, the what is it, NTSCJ, I guess. Doesn't look like it's gonna get any movement at all until you guys find a new developer that can translate Japanese.
If you're
anything-
listening from Japan, like hit these guys up.
like, get us help, like, do it, please. Is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to clear up? Because a lot of people, I think a lot of people were just kind of enticed by the idea of that one word soon, and had this idea like, oh, it's coming, I can't wait, and man, I think that was kind of, I don't know, I feel like I'm not upset by it. I'm not.
Well, I mean, and it's fine to be perfectly upset with, with what happens, but it's just the fact that, over the years, I've been with the team since pretty much the beginning or beforehand with Brawl Plus, so I've seen a lot of members come and go. It was just the fact that at the time that we wrote soon, trademark soon, we had a lot more coders that were, I guess, skilled enough to port into PAL and NTSCJ, the original codes. But, as time goes on, people leave, real life happens, a lot of priorities override Project M. And unfortunately, some members have to leave, which was the case for a lot of our porters, namely Barrow, who was handling NTSCJ. He's a Japanese Smash player and coder. So people like him left, and though we still have a lot of very talented coders right now, it's just a big workload. It's really big for these guys. And since Project M is on a volunteer basis, there's only so much they can do between themselves.
I
So
heard
it's really just the lack of manpower at this point. It's just very difficult. That's the end-all, be-all about it.
I heard WeStack is working on a lot of the porting of PAL. Is that right?
Yeah. Tech, Standard Toaster, they've been amazing with porting and just overall, creating codes to better the game.
I'm sure it's really hard for him since he's so busy putting Gray Fox into the next patch.
Oh, yeah, clearly, yeah. And Shadow.
Just Gray Fox.
And Goku.
Just
Kratos.
want Gray Fox.
And Goku.
You're getting Kratos first,
Nah.
motherfucker.
The Cheetos cheetah. We're just gonna make everybody in there. If you
Gray
remotely,
Gray Fox is already in the game. Nobody loves Gray
Cheetos
Fox.
Cheetah is too. What are you talking about?
Wait, who's Cheetos Cheetah?
the cheetah from the Cheetos,
yeah.
bro.
Cheetah. Oh yeah, right.
Cheetos
I
cheetah.
heard his up air is sick.
Oh man,
Yeah.
hoo ha.
But yeah, that's just the basics, or that's really what it comes down to. It's just the lack of manpower, and two people can only do so much as far as porting an enormous list of codes that goes into Project M. So that's it.
And I think that's why I just can't muster up like being mad. It's just like people are doing this in their spare time. It's a ton of work, and it's trying to be done as quickly as possible, but it also trying to be done as efficiently as possible. My apologies for mispronouncing. It's Chester Cheeto. That's his name, the cheetah from Cheetos, and Tony the Tiger. Let's not forget about him.
Tony the Tiger.
I think the one thing that upsets me though was more about, and I said it pre-show, the Japanese version, because I thought like, man, how cool would that have been to open up some eyes over there, and then all of a sudden maybe you get the support that we're like, people are convinced it's the Japanese players and Japanese mindset that hates us. So it'd be really cool to see like how it would be received, and if like small weeklies and stuff start over in Japan and whatnot. Someone did say in chat they're from Japan or in Japan. I don't know if it's true. I don't know the time difference, what time you'd have to be awake to watch this. But if you know of any type of a scene over there, I would love to hear some stories. If you guys like run it like an illegal underground, like you're like doing poker games, play some PM.
That would be amazing.
In a basement.
What's the password? Anthony
Speakeasy.
Gallo.
Smash Speakeasy.
So you guys want to jump into what the main topic is going to be tonight? Or one of the main topics until we get to Q&A?
Are we talking about top 5?
Our top 5.
Of all time?
Oh, God.
Of all time.
Okay, so
The GOATs.
we're going to
Goats, or are
do...
we talking about all, top 5 right now? Which one?
I mean,
I think.
can we just
right
talk about both?
Right now, maybe.
Fine, right now.
I'm down for
Fine.
talking about both. I don't care.
I am too, dude.
We're going to do top 5 players. We're going to do
Yeah.
top 5 players.
Just opinion based, dudes.
It's just
Don't
opinion
get-
based. We don't have like a stat sheet. And we will revisit it. I'm saying it now. We're gonna have another top 5 player episode after a few more majors pass by. Now I'm gonna let you guys vote on this. Do you want to do top 5 players, or do you want to do top 3 players and then top 2 overrated players?
Oh yes, top 3 and top 2 overrated players. Let's fire some shots.
This is face was just like,
Let's go.
Oh my god, I don't even know where to go on that list, but all right, I'm down.
okay.
Bang, bang.
So we're doing top 5. We're doing top 3 players in PM and the top 2 overrated players. Now,
And then-
disclaimer: we don't think the overrated players are terrible. They're just overrated.
Dude,
Just
I don't even know
overrated.
what I'm gonna answer for that.
Where's Frozen when you need him?
All right, who's going first?
Fuck, I don't even know who. Oh damn, I'm going last. I didn't
Alright.
think.
I'll go with top 3 players in my opinion. I mean, I have a really like strong case for top 5 too, though. That's the thing. Like,
Dude,
I kind
the
of want
more
to.
I think the more you say, people aren't gonna complain. Like, go with
Good.
what you
Let
want
them
to go.
complain. All right.
Yeah, say what you need to
so-
say. You gotta say top 5. Say what you need to say, dog.
I think right now there's no arguing. Ally is the best at the moment, with placings and just who he's beaten. Keeps on getting first place at these big ass nationals. So I'm gonna give it to Ally.
Yeah.
I think across the board we can agree that the number 1 player right now is Ally.
Well, somebody in chat probably thinks it's Sethlon, but yes, it's Ally.
Someone in chat also thinks that if Frozen had a list of top 2 overrated players, they're both Sethlon. So I think number 1 for us. Remember, this is opinion based. I think we all can agree Ally is the top player.
I also want to say that Ally beat. Well, did Ally get second to Armada? Armada's Fox?
Yes, he did. He got second there.
So I mean, I do want to say that with melee players, like the really good ones, like Lucky, Mango, and Armado, how they've been winning a lot. I'm not going to include them because they barely play the game.
Lucky
But
might.
if I
Do you
were
know that
to-
Lucky doesn't play the game?
Yeah, he says he doesn't really play the game.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but like if I were to include them, it would be Mango, Armada, and Lucky right now because of their
I would
placements.
100,000% agree on that, and in that order.
Yeah,
But that's the problem is they're so sporadic in their play, and they're only going there if it's a huge tournament that happens to have melee there. So I can see Ally obviously didn't go to shots to play melee, you know? So I can see why you have him on that list, you know,
Yeah.
aside from
I'm gonna
from
put
anyone
Mewtwo
else.
King on the list too, though, because he plays a ton of PM at tournaments.
Can we have a
anyway.
rule excluding the gods or like the melee
So
gods?
excluding Mewtwo
You
King?
want to exclude Mewtwo King from the list?
I think Mewtwo King is pretty. I mean, he plays enough, and he
But
places
then I
enough.
feel like by default, the
Armada
gods
and Mango
probably
should be
occupy
on.
top 3.
Okay, I agree.
Ally would probably be up there.
So Ally 1, Junebug 2. It's between Lunchables and Vans for 3, in my opinion. I'm gonna say Lunchables 3.
Oh, you broke my
Because he's real. I love
fucking
Vans,
heart.
but Lunchables is like really consistent, and we're not sure if he would be as consistent around here. But for now, he's been really consistent.
Is there anyone in the Midwest worth considering?
No?
Is that
Is
your
that ever a
your
question?
is that your underrated player? The entire Midwest, dude.
That's my overrated player. By the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, overrated player. Overrated player. The entire
Midwest.
region.
Yo, number 1 Midwest, number 2 New England, 2 most overrated.
Damn.
Just kidding. We're not even on the map.
You guys are underrated. Stop it.
Yeah.
We're not even there. Okay. Guru. Oh wait, do you want to do your 2 overrated
My
players?
overrated, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, mine are number 1 will always be Oro. He thinks that he could fucking wear my fucking beard. Are you fucking kidding me right now, bro? Oro number 1. And I Punch Kids number 2. Because SoCal is overrated as fuck. That all the non-melee players are overrated. See me.
You took my number 2.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dude, he's been getting a ton of attention. I was expecting I Punch Kids to be on a couple of people's lists. Don't worry, you can have repeat. You don't have to like dig for other people. If you think the person's overrated, just throw it out there.
Oh yeah,
And-
Professor Pro. He's got to be in my top 3, dude.
Oh, I thought you were about to go overrated.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think you were
like,
about to go overrated as
like,
well.
No, just because I
no.
fucked him up doesn't mean he's overrated. I fucked him up because I'm just that good.
It's clearly because Mario's broken.
Yeah. I put Professor Pro number 3, Lunchables 4. My bad.
okay, so it's
Sans
one ally, 2 Junebug, and number 3 is gonna
Professor
be
Pro.
Professor
For me.
Pro. Okay.
And then Lunchables and then Vans.
Can I ask you what performance of Professor Pros has really impressed you since 3.5?
Beast.
Beast 5.
Definitely Beast. And just in general, his performances at Flex Zone and everything else. He's just really good.
He looked better at Flex Zone than he did at Beast.
I feel like he's more consistent. I feel like he doesn't have these like weird tournaments where you're just like what happened to him kind of a thing. Well, that's all.
But then he gets JV for it.
Bro, you don't fuck with Gallo in Gallo's neighborhood. Like
That's fair, yeah.
you come in,
my hood, son.
yeah, dude. Gallo
I
was
feel-
there with a gauge, just like, yo, dude, I'm sorry, gotta defend my house.
My
Almost-
reason for bringing it up is because the sets I saw of Professor Pros and Beast weren't. I don't know. They didn't really impress me that much, but maybe that's just because like I'm used to him being flashier, and he wasn't that like he was kind of flashy with like tranks and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it's stupid. I have a stupid evaluation for it. I haven't really watched that many of his matches. I guess he only looked really great in that match against that Charizard player at Beast to me.
Yama, I think it was.
Yeah, he looked like a god in that match.
Guru, top 3,
All right,
and then overrated 2.
Oh boy. All right. So first, I really want to say that I think Junebug is probably the best right now. I think he has potential to eventually be Ally. I would say Ally second, and then Lunchables third. I would probably put Lunchables up there as top 3 players right now. I know I personally would be shitting my pants to play against him because I don't know what to do against Toon Link, and Toon Link seems like a seriously top 10 character.
No one plays Toon Link here.
No one plays Toon Link here. DVD, but I guess
Yeah.
we don't play.
We don't play
him, though.
DVD.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my top 3. So Junebug, Ally, And Lunchables. Top 2 overrated players. All right, fuck it. I think Strong Bad is overrated.
I was gonna say Strong Bad.
This is great.
I think Strong Bad is overrated. He has a good Wario, and I do like his Game & Watch as well. But I think it's partially the Midwest that just sucks. That
about
puts him in
Texas,
such a
though?
big spotlight.
You
He
gotta talk
moved
about
to
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, I know he moved to Texas, but that was still.
But they suck too, son. They suck too.
They suck too, bro. It's only Lunchables. It's only Lunchables. Safflon,
Damn.
That's my first one, and then second would be I Punch Kids. Sorry, bro. I've seen Frozen play, and if Frozen was the main Lucario,
That's what I'm saying,
he
and
would
it's not.
destroy every other.
It's not even.
Frozen's Lucario's not good, dude, anymore.
Frozen would wipe the floor.
If Frozen put the time into his Lucario, dude, it
Yeah,
would
but that's a
be.
theoretical argument.
Not even theoretical. I play him.
We
Has
play
he put
him,
in, okay, so
and
has he put
the-
in time
the
in?
bare
Has he
chances
put
that-
time into his
At a
Lucario
national, he
stats?
would place higher than whatever his name is with Lucario. Fucking, I punch kids because I can't punch adults.
Wait, I have a question. Has he been brushing up his Lucario since Guts 3?
I mean, he plays. Like, it's not like he doesn't play it.
would you say it's like way better than it was at Guts 3?
I don't know. He didn't play it at Guts 3.
In money matches, he did.
or money matches. I don't know. He plays Mewtwo most of the time.
Well, Lucario's better now than he was in 3.0. So
Relatively, yeah,
Makes
you're right.
Comparatively, yeah. I
Yeah,
will say that.
Yeah, never mind. Go ahead.
I mean, Frozen is a great Mewtwo player, and his Mewtwo is amazing. But I
Yeah.
really wish he stuck with Lucario.
Okay, so people need to know
Just
this
because
about.
it's fun to watch. I don't understand it, and I think the character is kind of stupid.
Yeah, I try
But
to
the stuff he
play.
does is
Like
so
anytime you try to
amazing.
pick up Lucario and you have no idea what's going on, you just look half retarded. And then you watch other players play him that know what's going on, and you're just like, how does that even work?
I just do random DIs, honestly. Just hoping
People
that.
have to know this about me is that me and Eli were, I think, the first like at Apex. We were there. We were the first two to be like, holy fuck, who is this kid and what is he doing? Like his Lucario looked godlike. Frozen made me reconsider everything I thought about Lucario in January of 2014. But I did, like, I played him in a money match at Guts in 3.5. In 3.02. What am I talking about? 3.02. Lucario versus Ness. And I, like, solidly 2-0'd him. Like, and I thought, and everyone has a bad set. Everybody can have a bad set. Everybody can be off. Or I 3-0'd him.
Yeah.
I forgot if we played a best of 5 or whatever. But, like, everybody can have a bad set, so maybe that was going on. But I really don't necessarily think Frozen has the best Lucario right now. Like, not even close. But maybe he's brushed it up.
Here's the thing with I Punch Kids. I've seen his videos. He just does. He's all tech. He doesn't have good reads. Or he doesn't make like. I don't know. I think he's
Yo,
like
chat's
the-
going to love what I'm about to say.
He's like
I-
a button masher. It
There are
just
no
seems
good
like
Lucarios.
no good Lucario.
Kanye
No
East,
good
huh?
Lucario mains.
Kanye East. No, everybody's bad Lucario. Right. I mean, like, you know, everybody, it's like Wolf. Like, that character has such a high ceiling. Like, such an insanely high ceiling
Right.
that nobody who's using him has even come close to getting, like, 70% of the way there. If you watch IPK versus Lucky or IPK versus, who did he play? Not Neon. Was it Axe? It was Axe. If you watch IPK versus Axe or IPK versus Lucky, he was dropping so much shit still. Like, even when he was starting to extend these insane combos and he would up B vertically up and do an aura cancel stuff, he would miss it. He would miss that shit. And I'm like, dude, if you're really good, you should not miss that stuff. And in the future, you're never going to see Lucarius miss that stuff. And he really is going to be a 0 to death touch character. Like,
Also, Lucario is definitely one of those characters that melee players are going to be like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what to do
Yeah.
against this. So they're going to be DIing everything wrong.
Yep.
and even then, he didn't look like he was not dominating. He was missing a lot. He was messing up his neutral. He was like not getting the cleanest
Yeah,
punishes.
Lucky
So that-
beat him, right?
Lucky
Still.
and Axe beat him. And so what that says to me is like, he looked he didn't look. I'm not saying he's not the best Lucario player now, because my opinion is IPK is the best Lucario player now, but I definitely don't think he's necessarily like even 60% of the way there as far as unlocking the potential of that character.
I agree 100%. I think it's obvious that he's the best right now, but I think there's potential for other people to be the best easily.
Right.
Yeah, and also Lucario Illuminati is fucking bullshit. Like those guys do not want to believe anything is wrong with their character at all. It's stupid.
Oh,
Lucario Illuminati.
so do a wrap up, Guru. Your top 3 and your overrated 2 were.
Oh, my top 3 were Junebug, Ally, Lunchables.
Professor Pro worse than Lunchables?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Top 2 overrated, Strong Bad, and IPK.
Where would we put Sethlon? I definitely have him in top 10, obviously, but I don't know if I have him in top 5.
If you're doing like a top 2 of the worst followings to have to deal with, you'd put him at number 1.
Number one.
Number 1.
Number 2 is
My overrated isn't even gonna be that. It's gonna be my overrated would be Sethlon and iPunch because of their following. Has nothing to do with their play skill. Because
Exactly.
I
That's
think
what we're talking about.
I think
We're not really talking about
I
their
know.
skill.
Oh yeah, because I think iPunch Kid, like you mentioned it before, his tech skill is phenomenal. He's really great.
Yeah, he does.
He
crazy
just
stuff.
he just needs to learn. He's like anyone else that's kind of like burst out on there. He needs to learn matchups and whatnot. And he gets kind of schooled out by the melee players that have a crazy amount of experience underneath their belt. And once he starts closing that gap a little bit, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
he's just
But-
not that consistent. Like
Yeah.
he misses shit all the time, and he also like sometimes just looks like a fool, you know, like. And sometimes he looks like a god. Sometimes he looks like a fucking god.
I think he gets into that autopilot where he's just he just assumes like that's like when he up B's, oh, he's gonna be right there and doesn't adjust for it, doesn't, and then he's just in the middle of the area getting ready to get punished.
I see some people in the chat are saying everybody has been like nobody's been unlocked or nobody has been really figured out. That's true. Like games will get evolved. Like games will evolve, and there's always like a much higher ceiling than any individual character has. But what I'm talking about is like I think a lot of characters are at 80% of their potential unlocked, like in a lot of circumstances. And like to me,
Poor
Wolf,
Mario.
huh?
Poor Mario.
But like Wolf and Lucario are definitely, I think, like at the 50 or 60% rate.
Yeah.
Like they have so much room to expand. Like
Right.
Lucario even
Ceilings,
more
bro.
so.
Like
Yeah.
Mario is fucking easy as shit, but he's like also easy to figure out. People just suck against him.
Yeah, it's true.
What about you, Nizza? Top 3 players.
Top 3. So I'm really struggling with this question because I think a lot of people are extremely good and a lot of people have godlike moments. But top 3 is about, I think right now, top 3 about PM is about consistency. Like, how well can you keep reproducing results? And it's weird because, like, yeah, Guru went through one of the hardest brackets of shots fired that anyone could have gone through. But he didn't do it, like, looking pretty.
You mean Junebug?
Junebug, sorry. I don't
Sorry,
know why.
the Guru's done a
Okay.
crazy,
Guru, the fucking
some
hardest
great,
bracket.
yeah, he's done some great things.
Junebug went through one of the hardest brackets I've ever seen, but he didn't look pretty doing it. And, like, he's not necessarily getting first or second at every, like, you know, MDVA tournament. Like, he's oftentimes getting third or fourth as well.
To
He gets
smash
first and
God
second a lot. What's up?
To smash God and Lot a lot.
Yeah, to smash God a lot. And to me, like, you have, like, he's not dominating, you know? Like, he's not really dominant. And I think he's always a threat for top at any tournament because he can unlock that X factor.
And
As
because he's
far
so
as-
fucking smart.
And he's so smart. He's so smart. And he's my brother. Like, he's
Yeah.
Rad Brown Dads all day. But, like, sometimes I get the sense that if he went to 10 tournaments consistently, he wouldn't necessarily make top 3 at all 10 of them. Like, so he doesn't really... Actually, my top 3, I think, is, in some order, Ally, Lunchables, and Prof Pro, I think. And the order... If we were considering some of those melee guys, I think actually Lucky is the best player I've ever seen play Project
Right.
M. He looks like way better
Melee
than...
guys are so good.
So good, but like Lucky specifically, he's adaptive in a weird way that I haven't even seen like
Yeah.
Mango.
He was
or
efficient too, like really efficient.
He looked godlike. Like he looked like Armada looked good, but Armada looked like he had figured out some things about Ally. He had figured out just enough to be able to like shine properly and like outplay him. But Lucky looked dominant in every set I've seen of his.
Yeah.
He really looks like, I don't know, like the best.
What about
But,
the fact that and Chad's bringing this up a ton? The fact that Lunchables just doesn't travel enough.
Yeah, that's why he's a big X factor. Like, we're not sure how he would actually do in other regions.
But he also,
a big
like,
part of, yeah, like, I know for myself, like, speaking for myself and for like tons of people, it's like really hard to go out of state to like nationals to other regions and perform well because so many factors go into it. Like, if you slept, this is my biggest problem. You know, the crowd, like, you know, you get nervous, so
Waiting around for matches.
yeah, there's so many factors.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a whole different ball game once you get into out of region tournaments.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
who knows how he would actually do?
But I can say I think everyone in this chat would be far more scared of facing Lunchables than they would Cephalon.
I would.
Yeah.
I've played way more Roy's.
I played
way more Roy's, and I think that Lunchables is scarier in neutral than Cephalon is. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
I guess.
Toon Link is
They're both really good though.
Yeah, they're both godlike. I mean, they're both. I think it's hard to dispute that Cephalon is obviously like top 10, and for a lot of us here, he's probably top 5. But I think my order goes number 1 Lunchables, number 2 Ally, number 3 Professor Pro. That's my top 3.
Lunchables #1 fan here.
Kind of think. Well,
Lunchables fan club.
Well,
Started by the NZA.
dude, I'm most scared. I would be most scared to play him out of all 3 of those people.
I could see it, dude.
Yeah.
Ally, I mean, I've played Ally, and it's
You took a game off him. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
2-1. You know, Guru was the only person to take a game off Ally at Flex Zone.
At Flex Zone. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
only
nuts.
because of Warrior Jank.
Wow.
Wow, no confidence. I can't deal with
Warrior
you self-hating
Jank,
people.
bro. Warrior Jank, bro.
Yeah, for the amount of shit Free Saltines talk, you guys are so hard on yourselves. Like, what in the world? Like, I don't get
That's
it.
true.
Side B, man. Side B is too good.
Who are your
And
two overrated players?
2 most overrated. I think Strong Bad is super overrated. Like, I don't think. I just don't. I think he's more experienced and has better control of nerves than someone like, say, Poob. But I think when both are playing at their best, like, Poob is way better than him. And I think he's a good player. Like, he's not bad. But he's obviously not bad, right? Like, we're watching the grand finals where he's in it in Texas.
Yeah, he's a great player.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would contend that he's top 5 in the game, and I think those people would be wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put him top 10.
I think he'd be like top 25, but I
Yeah.
don't think it'd be top 10.
How big is this number getting? You know, top 50 guaranteed. But it's not. You know, I think he really can make top 100 because I feel like top 150 really fits his forte.
Maybe.
And
If
I
he's
think
lucky.
the second overrated player would be
Oh man,
Just say it, man. Just say it.
no, it's not that I'm
Just say
Say
hesitating.
it.
it's because he has so many overrated players in his head.
Oh Jesus, I don't have that many. I mean, I guess I don't want to.
Before Gallo, and we have to.
Should I call out all of Texas?
Oh shit!
No.
Texas.
Well, is Ham Yojo on the map?
state
Because
of
he's
Texas.
super overrated.
Oh my god.
I'm
Yo,
young.
Narc would fuck him up. Narc is the Yoshi Slayer for no reason.
I think IPK. I'll go with IPK. I think IPK is not necessarily
Damn.
like.
Unanimous IPK right now.
Unanimous. Yeah, dude. Damn.
Do people think he's really a god though? Like, isn't that like kind of a cop out? Do people think he's top
It's
5?
because for some reason now everybody has this delusion that SoCal's like the best region out of nowhere. I don't know where that came
Wait,
from.
who thinks that? I feel like only
Smash
SoCal thinks
Bros.
that.
I will say this, like in the last month or so, I've heard more about SoCal than I had previously all combined. I don't know why it's like that now. Maybe it is because of iPunch Kids. Like maybe he's getting a little bit more popular on his stream and stuff.
Yeah, I
and,
think it's just promoting.
yeah, people have seen him around a little bit more,
Self-promotion.
and I guess people see the Lucario and just get
Yeah,
hyped.
I need to clarify real quick because people are going crazy in chat. I think Texas is an insanely good region. I think it was significantly stronger before Smash 4 came out when there were other players like Austin and Denti playing in it for PM. but I don't think I think right now the threats are Cephalon, Strong Bad, and Lunchables, and all three of those guys are really good players. I think there's like huge gaps after that.
He doesn't
Like,
believe any of that. He's just trying to make some PR work right now. It's
no,
excess.
man.
FYI.
Like, I don't think Swag Apocalypse is like the god. I don't think that like wait, is he MDVA?
Swag Apocalypse is MDVA.
Is MDVA? My bad. There's some other whatever. Ham Yojo, I don't think is like that great necessarily.
Whole
Like there are a
state
lot of other
Texas.
players.
But yeah,
Dude, they're so
FYI,
top heavy. They're so top heavy.
mentioned, Denti. Fucking Guru made Denti look like random Ivy Sword number fucking 69, dude. just
I didn't
FYI.
even know he
Just
was
throwing that out there. Because nobody ever knows about like shit like this. Guru fucking beats everyone and nobody knows.
Oh, yo, Guru, who are some people you've stopped before? I want to hear this voice.
Let's go. Talk to him, Guru.
Let's hear him.
Let's hear him.
Talk to the kid. Tell
Oh,
the
you
kids
fucked
about
up with
it.
Hacks. Oh, you fucked up Hacks. Axe. Oh, you fucked up
Axe
that.
and Axe. Yeah.
You fucked up Axe?
Axe. Yeah.
Talk to
And
him about
I was taunting
Please.
him.
Wait, Axe or Hacks or both?
both of them.
Both.
I
Both
beat
of them.
Axe at a local, and I beat Axe AXE at Apex when I was just starting my Meta Knight,
Talk to him
Damn.
about what you did.
and I wish I had my controller, but I was just spamming the C stick just like this,
in
like
front of every
Like he was
Instead of
throwing
every-
it down, just
at my-
making it rain on him.
controller up high, just flicking the C stick up, just juggling him to death, and it was working.
Oracle's good too, by the way.
Yeah, Oracle's great.
Oh,
He's
Oracle,
an
yeah.
awesome guy too.
Yeah,
But I don't think he's top. I don't think he's
Oracle-
top 5 or top 10, but he's good.
I don't either.
But he's top 10 in our hearts.
Yeah.
He's awesome in the
Yeah,
hearts,
he's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he'll win anyone over. If you're doing top 3 and we're excluding all the melee people, it's kind of funny how like the top 3 is just dramatic. It's all like dramatically different. I think I do know exactly what Niz is talking about with Junebug being a little inconsistent because honestly, I think everyone at Shots Fired had some moments that was just kind of like, who are we watching me play right now? Like so many SDs, especially in such big moments. I think Ally would be number 1 though, just because Ally could have like a bad day and still be smarter than you, and like I think that definitely makes up for it in a lot of cases. Excluding Mewtwo King, you probably put I could see June being second, and then third is really a toss up on who's on their game between Professor
Sounded-
Pro and who would you say?
Sounded like my list.
Well, I love Vans.
What a
I
budget.
think when
Who's your
Vans
number 1?
Ally.
Oh,
Like,
I do think because he's just so smart. Like I was talking about with a buddy today who doesn't really like watch too much competitive Smash, and he's just talking about how like Ally's Ike doesn't like look like anything else because it's his combo game isn't like the crispest. It's not like he's this crazy like so super. No, he just everything he
crazy,
does
dude.
is
He's
just
just a
so
smart
smart.
player,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like smarts outweighs a lot of like tech and a lot of like these
Yeah.
matchups and all that
I've
because
always
That's
been
a great
the
point.
Same mindset, yeah.
so like, and I don't know, dude. For number 3, I just want to throw Vans on there because I love him, but I don't think Vans. I think on the top of his game he could be there, but the consistency thing is another thing that drags him down. Because Vans sometimes will have these amazing sets and he'll switch a character like every game and play like the crispiest of every single character he picks, and then he'll have days where he just doesn't feel it. So, but overrated, I'm just gonna go just Sethlon and I punch kicks because of their followers. Can't do it. I can't deal with it. I can't go like everything on Red. And I go to iPunch Kid's stream all the time and I say hello and I'm like, yeah, good things, like da. But like his chat is like, it's almost like the West Coast, like the Venice Beach gamers that didn't get big. Like they're like, I don't care. No,
Guess
it's
who's
all.
on Salt by his
I don't even care.
Yes.
It's all just
I
breasts.
punch kids in Sepla.
that's hilarious.
It's all just they're all like the epitome of bruh. Like that's what they are. It's a quintessential bruh chat, and I can't deal with it. And Sethlon just like, I'm pretty sure there's someone in Texas right now with like the Helga Pataki gum like statue of Sethlon in their closet, and they just pray to him on a nightly basis. So I'm just done with it. I can't
It is,
deal with
worth
it
you
saying,
anymore.
really
it is
feel.
worth saying that Cephalon more consistently wins in Texas than even Lunchables or anyone
Oh
else.
yeah, yeah.
But
I
will
think
say
he is.
for myself, like I think in a national level, I'd be much more scared of facing Lunchables than Cephalon because I think, like,
But does that
People-
have to do with Sethlon and Lunchables, or does it have to do also with matchup?
It's both, but don't you count both?
I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know what you feel like. What makes Sethlon less scary? Is it because you have more matchup practice? Is that what
I
it
don't
is?
imagine those melee people necessarily trouncing on Lunchables. Like, I don't. I just like. I think matchup and experience plays a part of it, but I don't know if that's any. Like, if we're talking about who's gonna win in a tournament, like in a national, I think like it. You take both. You know, like. I don't know. Armada might have won a lot of games after using Peach and people not being used to like punishing Peaches as well as their punish game against Fox, but that doesn't make him any less successful.
And I don't think anyone here thinks I Punch Kids isn't good either.
Yeah, none
Like
of these, all of these people are better
They're
than me.
really, yeah, they're all way better than me.
Yeah.
No, I mean these players are great players, and obviously we throw it around in jest, but like sometimes you just get so tired of the talk. And you know, whatever. I think everyone that we rated as overrated is an amazing player.
I'd say IPK is definitely top 20, and Sethlon is definitely top 10. And who else did I say is overrated?
Everyone.
Oro.
Oro's not even top 50, dude. It's like top butthole. No, I'm joking.
But yo,
He's
but the
good.
top
He's alright.
in top butthole of this one.
I will say that regarding Sethlon versus Lunchables, I will give Sethlon credit in that he will probably be more experienced on a national level as far as just like handling tournament jitters and
Oh yeah.
you know the nerves, because I imagine Lunchables will be very, very new to that.
It helps that he's not a child.
Yeah,
He's
that's
literally
it.
not a child.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess to Sethlon's credit, Lunchables would have that going against him, because I mean, handling tournament nerves is a skill set in its own.
Yep.
A lot of us still struggle with that, at least you know here within our crew. I will say that, but Sethlon will probably have that over him, and that might be one reason why Sethlon might do better on a national, like an out-of-state national.
I mean, he has placed well at nationals too.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will give him that. But me
I
personally,
think he was almost all of our fourth or fifth, right? Like, I mean, besides Gallo.
Sethlon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 5 or 6 for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's like somewhere between fourth and sixth for me. I mean, Junebug is probably fourth for me, but
June is so good.
June is really good.
You guys want to go straight into Q&A?
Actually, I had a question.
Go
If
for
we
it.
have time to kill, do we have time to kill? Yeah, we do have time to kill, right? Can I ask, who do you guys think are like 2 or 3 people who are gonna? Can we go around and say like who are 2 people that we think are gonna rise like really high? They
That's
don't
a
have
cool
to
topic for sure.
necessarily rise to like it doesn't have to be rise to the top 3, but just like rise a lot from their relative known like amount to, I don't know, to being prominent, to being top like 8 or top 10 on the scene.
Let's talk about it.
All
Who's going first?
Yeah, I think Nizza, you got to go first.
Oh sure, I think
you asked the question.
I'm super impressed with Neon's Lucas. Like, it is still getting better, but it is so freaking like the little I've seen of it recently. It seems like every week I look at him. Like 3 weeks ago, I looked at Neon's Lucas. I was like, okay, it's whatever. It's good, but it's not like great, you know. And then 2 weeks ago, I was like, wow, it's getting really good. And then a week ago, I was like, holy shit, he just looks like 3.02 Lucas.
I saw a video recently and I was really impressed.
Yeah, like
it looks
he's
just like
started
3.0
looking-
Lucas. I give
And
him,
then when he starts saying things like, "Oh, I think Lucas is the 4th best character in the game," and you start really questioning that, but then you look at him and you're like, "That might be true." Like he's absurd. Like he's really good. So I think he's somebody who's gonna really rise up. And then I keep saying this, and I still think it's gonna happen, but I really do think Sora's gonna be that dude, and I think it's gonna happen eventually, and I don't think anyone's gonna expect it. But I just,
already put Sora pretty high.
yeah, like
I
I think
personally-
Sora's gonna be top 10 or top 8 for sure. Like in half a year from now, I think that's gonna be true. Or a year from now, he just needs to travel more.
All right, so my 2, one is FS Bias for Dark Blues. I think he's been proving himself recently,
I was
like
gonna say that.
starting to place really well at big tournaments.
definitely, yeah.
Yep, he outplaced me at both Flex Zone and Shots Fired. And he's just been steadily improving. Like, he's not regressing at all, ever. He always just impresses me every time he goes to a big tournament.
Where do you see him falling? Like, where do you think he's gonna end up? Like top 10, or you say
He has so much drive for the game. Like he plays more than anyone in FS. Like he's always at any fest that FS hosts, and he's always trying to improve, even like by himself at home. So I see him top 15 in the next few months.
Nice. That's quick. I could see it too. He looked good.
Yeah, dude. So second is I was watching this match between this guy named Just. He's an Ike player from the Washington area versus Silent Wolf. And he like came super close to taking the set in grand finals against Silent Wolf. And I thought he was really impressive. So I'm going to say him. Just is his name.
Respect for picking somebody that you like just saw a video of, because that's super cool.
His stuff was impressive. That's why.
That's where
good
what's his name?
decision-making.
The Falcon Mei Ling is from, right? Washington State.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been seeing him around a little bit too. He's pretty nasty Falcon.
Yeah, he's cool. He made a bunch of combo videos that he featured me in.
Nice. A really good NES players also.
He's a good friend too. He's cool.
So Guru, 2 on the rise.
I will definitely say that, well, I've been personally impressed with, especially at Shots Fired, Envy's performance.
Oh, yeah.
Envy did really well. I honestly did not expect him to be Zyme. I thought that was going to be a pretty deciding win for Zyme, but he pulled an upset for sure. And I was really, it wasn't just like Zyme didn't know the matchup. You know, he actually played it really well. He adapted to Zelda, and just played really smart. So I really hope to see more from him. And he also beat Dark Blues as well, which I was really banking on Dark Blues because he was on fire that day to beat Envy. But he pulled the win again in that set. That was really good. So he's my first one. Second,
You know what's funny? You could honestly, because Zyme took such a long break, you could have said the both of them, because Zyme hasn't played in such a long time. He just comes to Shots Fired and places so well.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
Yeah,
he
but if you
plays
wanna-
sometimes at
I
fest
really
and
want to
stuff,
say,
so we know he's good.
yeah, I really want to say he has so much potential, but he's flat out told me that he doesn't expect to play more
Yeah.
in the tournament. So that's a real shame. And I'm sorry for all the Zelda
Dude,
fans.
are you sure that's not just Zahime being Zahime?
It could be like
It could be.
Guys,
If
I
he ever
hate
gets a
Project M
job where he
3.5.
could-
I'm just never going to even play that. Like, Zelda sucks so much.
Am I a
Where's-
slut?
when did
I'm slut. I'm the bad bitch in the building right now. Like, I am the bad bitch of PM, and she's back.
Yeah, I think if he ever gets a fucking job where he could actually go to tournaments, he'll go.
Yeah,
Mm.
a big part of it is his job and his
Got it, yeah.
schedule. But my second, I was watching some Texas streams the last couple of weeks, and I've been really impressed with Luck, the Diddy player. I think he has the best item control of any Diddy I've seen, including Junebug. Junebug
That's
is
a good
amazing
point.
in his own right, but Luck definitely has this edge, especially with item control and how he controls the stage really well with threatening space, and it's really good. Like, it puts me in awe of how he manages his item and stage control. So I really want to say, if he focuses on the other aspects of his game, namely his punish game, I saw it was a little weak, but he definitely has a lot of potential to be a top Diddy player. I was really impressed with how he's been performing in Texas, so definitely watch out for him. I really like his Diddy a lot.
His Diddy was nasty in 3.0 too, which is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
interesting. What you're saying
3.0
about the
was-
item control is so cool, because I always thought of him as like the one. He's like one of the few Diddy players where he looks like a melee player who picked up the character because
Yeah, yeah.
his aggro is insane. Like
His
some people might
movement's
remember
crazy.
Luck versus Strong Bad in 3.02, where he just shit all over Adam, and it looked Adam is Strong Bad, and it looked like so one sided. And it's partially because the character was pretty broke, but like he was so aggro, and I'm just if he also has, as you're saying, the best item control, like he's gonna go far.
Yeah. Um, like I said, I think his main opportunity, just from being a Diddy player myself back in the day, is maybe the punish game. But his movement is sick. I love his movement. His neutral game is very strong. So he's definitely a future threat. I can see him being a future threat in his region. And that really excites me because I love Diddy Kong. Just
Yeah, Diddy's a great
bias.
character.
It's definitely a good point you brought up about his item control because I remember watching him and being really impressed by that too.
Yeah, he's a very technical Diddy.
You'll like AGT items that get thrown at him all the time.
Hmm.
Oh, that always looks so cool when
He
people
does the
have that.
instant toss, and it's like I cream a little inside because no one uses that.
Creaming a little,
Z
bro.
drops, really good Z drops.
Wait, what are instant? Are you talking about just like air dodging through an item?
In the same air dodge, yeah. You can catch.
Right, and then throw
at
it
the
right
same
back.
time.
Right. Yo, you know who used to do that a lot? Like I remember when I went to Texas to LTC too. I played Austin a bunch, and I got to watch Austin play a bunch, and I was like, dude, how does this guy deal with like aggro? Because he has no tech skill. And then like, that's when I saw him play some aggro ditties, and he just AGT through every single banana back, and I was like, yo, this guy just chooses not to be technical except when he needs to be. This is so insane.
It's a very underutilized tech. It's
So
very
good.
so underused, along with footstools, in my opinion.
Probably
Um,
transforms the Peach matchup for a lot of characters if they actually are thinking about it.
Yeah, or even the links as well, if they were to master that against the bombs.
Scary though to air dodge in front of Link.
So
It is, yeah.
So the two players, they've already been mentioned, but like, this is something because I started at shots fired. It's Envy and Dark, and I think Envy deserves to be on there because he has a very unique playstyle for a Fox player,
Yes.
and I think that's why when people run into him, even though they're already running against a Fox, they come in there unprepared.
He knows PM.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed was like when Envy was playing against Zyme, we were making fun of him for his DI because he was just dying at these crazy low percents and like looked like he didn't even try to move the analog stick. He was just straight line dead. And immediately afterward, first off he won anyway, even with that happening. But then he goes to play Dark, and you saw like such good adjustment on his part. Like he was surviving in situations where he probably shouldn't have, and he adjusted so good to the gameplay. And Dark Blues is a Fox eater. Like that's what he's known for eating the spacies with Bowser.
Yeah.
And he played him so well. And I don't think, because I was going into that just fully expecting Dark to win that, just seeing what he's done previously to other Foxes and stuff. But MV plays such a unique style because he just plays it differently, and I think that might have been one of the reasons why he pulled that off. And then when you look at Dark, I mean, what Gallo says 100% accurate. Like that dude puts so much time into the game, and his edge guard game is so filthy. Like he's probably one of the best. Probably has one of the best edge guard games of all the players that we've mentioned today. And with a character like Bowser, you kind of can rewrite the book a little bit. So it's pretty interesting to see what they're both going to do forward.
Yeah, Dark Blues is amazing.
I was going to say with Envy, just to expand on what you touched on, he's the only one of the very few Foxes that utilize Project M specific tech. Like he uses RAR a lot.
Mm-hmm.
RAR with
such an
spacies
amazing
is
tool.
so good.
Yeah, dude.
Falco is like the best with RAR.
Yeah. I've seen him even be reverse lasers just to like change his spacing a bit. I especially saw that with Zyme's match, which I was really impressed with. Just changing up his laser game.
Can't you be reverse side B to do something weird? Phantasm or no?
Maybe to get extra distance
not sure.
or something. Possible.
Okay.
But yeah, he knows. He's one of the few melee, not melee, but Fox players just to know and utilize Project M tech, which I really admire. it's not just melee Fox. You know, it's a nice hybrid.
Yeah.
And Dark Blues is, I've always applauded Dark Blues' reads. He makes the sickest reads really often. Like, how the hell did you know I was going to go over there? And then the only thing is his consistency has been rough. But when he's on fire, and he's proved this at Shots Fired, that boy is a serious threat. And I'm really proud of him. He beat me in winners, and I was not salty at all. I was really glad for him.
Dude, if he had beaten Pink Fresh, and I really think he should have gotten that, like,
So close.
I don't know who would have stopped him. Like, he would have just kept going. Because a lot of people don't have that experience and also don't have that matchup advantage that Lucas probably has against Bowser. And, on top of how just good Dark Blues is, it's just stack that all together, and it would have been an insane run.
Yeah, and Bowser's just generally a weird character to adjust to on the spot, especially with his armor and
Yeah, he'll kill you at 40 if you don't get it.
his options out of shield. You need to learn to respect that, which most players just don't. Flat out just don't respect it.
Run into every up B out of shield.
And yeah, Bowser's will just take advantage of that, and they'll just run a train on you, especially Dark Blues. Yeah.
So we're gonna open up to Q&A, guys. Tag the channel, so it's Salt Mines PM. Just tag the channel in your question, and we're gonna do our best to answer them.
Yes, I will accept a money match from IPK.
Someone rip that one part and just post it right now. Just
Someone
right
asked.
now.
Someone asked a question. I was just seeing it on the side. Could Ness win a tournament? Could Ness win a national tournament, or is Lucas like a better choice? And I think those are two different questions. One thing I would say is that like anyone can win. I think anyone can win a national right now. Like nobody has like a real like a really strong foundational understanding of every matchup, and also like nobody's good enough to really exploit every character with their weaknesses. But Ness is definitely one of those characters that can just fucking body you if you haven't played the matchup like a lot.
Yep.
I know Guru, you think Ness is pretty good. I mean, everyone already kind of knows if you watch the show how I feel. Like, I don't necessarily think the character is super viable in like if people were playing on the level of, I don't know what the theoretical concept is, but like maybe a year from now or something, if 3.5 is still being played and it was played at a national level a lot, a player like Ally with a ton of foundational knowledge, who also had matchup experience against Ness, I don't see him losing like to any Ness player. That's the kind of like bar I would hold for like a year or 2 years from now. But for the next year, if if things are the way they are right now, like anybody can win a tournament with any character. You just have to be good.
I disagree with that, but for the most part, most characters are viable. There are just a few right now, at least, that I will honestly say can't win.
Who do
Namely,
you think can't win?
Jigs, DDD.
Jigs did it though. Hungrybox did it with Jigglypuff already.
Yep.
See me, son. See my Jigs, son.
I'll say that's the disparity of skill right there.
But it happened. That's the point.
Bro, you try to erase the history?
And we say like
Can't erase history, bro.
He got a lucky. Listen, so this is what I've heard Lunchable say, for example. He got a lucky bracket. He had to play against Oracle's Rob, and he had to play against Sethlon's Roy. Jigglypuff is apparently good against Rob, which I didn't know, and also Jigglypuff is good against Roy, which I did know. So like he got like a quote unquote easy bracket, but all brackets are variable. Like
Yeah, bracket's
honestly,
a big part of
like
nationals.
Ally shouldn't have
Bracket is a
fucking
big part of
Ally
it, yeah.
should not have fucking been second seed, like by any measure. He should have been third seed. But based on like what happened with Jiggles.
Seating at shots fired made no sense.
Well, I meant more that Jiggles
He
like
should have. Yeah, Jiggles blew it. He could have beaten Ally right there.
he was up like 2 stocks in 2 games, like in 2 subsequent games. He just suicides like nothing. So it's
I
like,
thought you were talking about the seeding because I remember Mewtwo King was like 20-something seed. And
well, yeah, it was.
That's
also bullshit, but
yeah, and then me and Junebug end up running into each other. But whatever. Point is, like, bracket means so much at nationals. Like, if you get a good bracket, you go in.
to a certain extent. But I mean, if we're talking about first place here, bracket,
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's what I'm
matter.
talking about, bro.
But if that's your claim, then Hungry Box did it already. So Jigglypuff is.
Yeah, so what are you talking about?
Who
That's
did,
what you're talking about,
Hungry
Joe.
Box? Who did Hungry Box beat at that time?
Okay, we're getting sidetracked by it. We're getting sidetracked by the initial
He
question.
beat Oracle and Cephon.
So the initial question was, do you think every character can win, or can Ness win?
Yeah, can Ness win? And my
Okay, back
argument
to
is
Ness.
So do you think Ness can win?
I do. I definitely think so.
Yeah.
Right now, anyway.
Guru wants to say no, and he doesn't know how to say it. It's okay. You can say no.
How can you say no? No Nest is 100%
Yeah,
like
none of us are
at
none
their
of us are
potential yet.
at their potential.
No, you're right. Ness is again one of those characters with a high window, high ceiling.
Have you seen my
medium
auto
sim.
cancel, double jump cancel back airs off platform, son?
Oh no, dude! It's just I feel like he might get shut down by certain matchups
Oh yeah, no, he's
Very
a bad
hard,
character.
to
You're
the
not
point
gonna-
where
But if you get
If
if
you-
you're a Nest and you get a bracket with no good marts, you just fucking could win, you know?
Yeah, you just can't fight anyone with
that's
good
what I'm
grab
saying,
range.
like, in a
You have to
theoretical-
not fight anyone with good grab range. You have to not fight people who are too floaty and are good with their characters, and you have to also fight people who don't have disjoints. So if you can find anyone that doesn't have those three, like you're gonna be real good.
Well, then that would be the definition of a character that can not take top.
Kanye
Right?
They
East.
can.
Am I right? That's
No-
that's
No,
what-
no, no. Listen,
my-
Maybe
so
in the future,
I agree
that
with you, Guru.
character.
I agree with you. In the future, Ness is not viable in my opinion. Like,
Exactly. That's what
I
I'm
think he's bottom 5 or bottom.
I don't think
6.
it's a year though. I think it's gonna be like it would have to take 5 years of
Probably. You're probably right.
We're
It's
thinking of the
probably-
current meta where, honestly, a lot of people don't know how to play against Ness. It took me a long time to learn to play against Ness. And even now, I'll definitely admit, Stereo still beats me more than I beat him. So it's
Oh,
still a
damn.
little struggle, but I think in the future, once people learn and play the matchup more consistently, they'll realize that Ness has too many holes in his gameplay that he can't take top. He can't win a tournament. He can't place first because there are too many characters that can shut him down, especially in neutral.
So another question. Comes from Kanye East. He says, "Do you think Jigs is viable at all?" And me and Gallo and Guru watch Vans play Jigs every week, or go to Jigs every week. Yeah, I think the character is more than viable. Vans is convinced that she's like top tier. Like that's
Fans is a troll, dude.
dude.
Don't
Like
listen to
and so is Olimar apparently according to the last Nebulous. But no, I think Vans is good. Jigs is good. I think just players don't want to play her because she's not really fun to play.
I think Olimer is good if you're lucky that day.
Well, I'm talking about Jigs.
The
I'm talking about
RNG
Jigs.
gods are
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. But Jigs is like just boring, and I think a lot of players don't want to play her, so it kind of just doesn't make her like evolve the meta at all.
I will
Dark
say
played.
that the-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, whenever Dark comes to Smashing Grounds, Dark is, for those who don't know, he got like really far in the Smash 4 Nintendo tournament. Not the E3 one, but the one that came out, the one tournament they did after the Wii U version just came out, and Dark did really well. He's like very good at Smash, and he he's mainly a Jigs player from Melee, and he normally doesn't play Jigs in PM because he didn't like her, but he started playing her at Grand Finals and doing pretty good with her. She's got some really bad matchups, but she has some good ones too.
Yeah.
I think it's just a symptom of Project M players, exclusive Project M players, not knowing how to play against the
Melee
weird
characters.
melee characters, or just melee characters in general. People don't know how to play Peach. People still crouch cancel against Peach. I've seen
I do
this
that
personally.
sometimes.
Even I do it. I'm guilty of it. People don't know how to properly fight Jigs in the air or challenge her in the air, which
Yeah.
is something you shouldn't do. And Fox and Falco as well. Same thing.
Yeah, they're pressure mainly.
A big
Guru, can I
part of
ask you a question about PM design generally, and you can feel free to not answer it.
Okay.
It's relevant to the Jigs question.
Yes.
I once had a PMDT member tell me, like, I don't think in the ideal balance of the game, any character will be able to win a tournament. So any player will be able to win the tournament soloing a character. You will always need a side pocket character. Is that what you think as well?
I would agree that if we were to achieve near perfect balance, that's what it would end up coming down to. People would need multiple mains, or at least a solid secondary in order to realistically win a tournament in the future.
So in your opinion, the design philosophy isn't to like have no unwinnable matchups. It's just to basically make it so anyone can cover their weaknesses at least, or because that's always confusing to me.
The design philosophy is obviously balanced as, as perfect as possible. But I think that's just what I'm talking about is just would be a consequence of achieving that balance.
Oh, perfect balance. Okay.
Yes. I think that for certain matchups, because, between 40 characters, it's realistically a very tough goal to have characters all designed where they can
have even matchups.
Yeah, have even matchups.
What about 6/4s? Is it possible for every character to have a 6/4 at worst, or 6? Yeah.
Maybe not after full development of gameplay. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like they might develop something and like it's super balanced to begin with, but then we find out that I could forward throw to forward air you on WarioWare at 40%, and then I just pick fucking Ike against Boyko, and poor guy. What are you gonna do?
Poor Boyko.
Poor Boyko.
Rip.
But I don't think it's a bad thing that people will need secondaries. I think that's one of the beauties of Project M, is that you'll be required to learn multiple characters, which I always personally believe strengthens you as a player. Learning one aspect of a character can transfer well into another character. Like maybe playing a faster character will teach you how to space better on the ground, whereas playing a floatier character like Jigs or, Samus can teach you about just overall spacing and, being more read-based. I think overall players will accelerate their improvement if they learn to take on multiple characters. So
I think in my perfect idyllic PM, like the end goal would be like maybe at worst a few 7/3s, but like in general the worst, like every character's worst matchup would be a 65-35 at worst. That would be like the perfect PM balance, because like as we've seen in Melee, 65-35s, those can be overcome. Like Armada's pulled it off, enough times where you're like that can be overcome. But
I actually wouldn't think 70-30 would be too bad either. I guess once we reach like 80-20, that becomes obviously a problem.
Like Bowser Chic.
Yeah.
I think people are too liberal with those Melee matchups. Some of those 7/3s, were 9/1s, and you're just like, you just didn't give a shit enough to write that down.
But as long as we minimize the really bad matchups, I think we'll have achieved our goal as far as balance. Just having the most even matchups as possible. And like I said, I think that's just going to be a consequence of our design philosophy. Just the fact that people will need secondaries or just dual mains for certain matchups that they'll know beforehand which to play. But I think that's a great thing, dude. I think that's a beautiful thing about Project M.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
So someone brought up the fact that it seems like Melee players can just jump into PM and win and be like amazing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like at any point it's going to get to where PM separates itself so much from Melee to where you have almost like your separate tiers of gods? Like you have your PM gods because
I think Melee players are so good right now just because their characters are so developed compared to PM characters.
Yeah.
So do you think that one of the things that should be addressed is that, or is it something that's good for the game, the fact that you can just have an ease of access from top tier Melee players?
I think PM players just need to get better.
Shut up and get better.
Yeah.
I don't get why people get so bummed out when in a grand finals it's like a Melee player got there.
I don't care at all. I think it's awesome.
Why don't you want to see? Isn't that what you want to see? Don't you want to see?
You just want to see the best players, and if they happen to be the best players, like I don't care how they got there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's right now, that person with the controller is gonna do the shit that like the other person couldn't, and look really great doing it. I don't care. I'll take the two best players over. Oh, he played PM more, so I just want to see. No, that's.
I'll tell you what was disappointing. A moment that was really disappointing for me was when I was watching Beast, and I saw Mango versus Armada, I think, and I was like, whoa, this is gonna be so sick. It's Mango and Armada and PM. I've always wanted to see that. And it just looked like two people who are really good with their characters who are totally uncomfortable in the engine they were playing in. And I was like, why am I watching this? I really wish they were just playing Melee. So, like, I can understand when you watch, like, two Melee people in a grand finals together, and that can be, like, super boring or whatever, because, like, you're just like, why? If you guys were playing Melee, you guys would be so much more comfortable. You'd be doing such sicker stuff. It'd be so much cooler to watch. But when it's like for example, Mafia, a Peach player in Smashing Grounds, has been winning every time
He's
he
been
comes.
fucking shit up.
Super hard. He's super good too. And like, I don't know what you guys' opinions are if you've watched
Him
it.
versus Vance has to happen.
Yeah, it definitely does. But when he plays, when he played against Poob in grand finals, and I was so happy to see that because I was like, cool, this is a great storyline, like a PM classic versus a melee classic from this region, and they're like, there's an underdog here. Like Poob is clearly the underdog, and it's so cool to see that. Like I love watching that stuff because you don't get to see Peach versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Right.
especially like highly developed Peach.
Yep.
Because of all the years that he played Melee.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said,
That's why I think,
you want that kind of a matchup too. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world for a Melee player to be at
Yeah.
the finals.
And that's why I think that Poob, if he had DK experience like Mafia had Peach experience, even though Mafia isn't as used to the PM engine, it's still like significant that he played so much Melee Peach that he knows his character a little more. So I think that more experience with DK, it would be closer.
Yeah.
We should just go and nerf Peach or something.
Yeah, like, don't nerf the Melee top tiers. Just, I mean, some of them
Maybe
but-
Fox and Falcon.
Maybe Fox.
Just say it because
Right.
of some stupid shit.
Yeah, but like in general, like I always get worried about this with the design philosophy of PMDT, and I've talked about it before. And I guess at this point, I'm like, Messi, if you want to jump in because you think I'm like going way too off topic, we can. But
We have
sometimes I
no
get
questions. If anything, we're wrapping up what you're about to say. So go for
okay,
it.
because like sometimes I get so worried because like Marth is cool because he's fucking crazy. Like I don't think the PMDT would have designed a Marth character without Marth already existing. Like his disjoints are like nothing else in Melee, and Fox's shine is nothing else like in Melee except for in Falco. Falco's dare is like nothing else. Like these characters are super.
Yeah,
polarized.
PMDT would not design Shine, and
Well,
if
I know
they
that.
did,
I know that.
we would fucking riot.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, like, I like how different, like, Jiggs's air mobility and back air and rest as a mechanic. Like, all these characters are so vastly different from each other, and they're so insane and polarized in weird directions, but yet they still, like, can meet each other on the battlefield and all make a top 8. And
Kind of
it's
makes it fun.
it makes
Yeah,
it
and
fun. It makes it
that's-
awesome.
Well, it's one thing. Eli probably has one of the best quotes or best, like, I'm going to paraphrase it, on the show, period. And he said, if someone does something in PM, it needs to be nerfed. When someone does it in Melee, it's the greatest thing they've ever seen.
And it applies to the PMDT because, like, I love, like, what's good about PM is that a lot of new characters and a lot of new playstyles are entering into the fold that have never been there in a viable way, right? Like, Link is viable. And the way they balance Link is one of the best ways they've balanced a character ever because his forward air is still just as formidable as before. His downer is as good as it was before. His down throw is better against certain characters. And now he's incentivized to use his other throws because they're better against certain characters. The only thing about him is they took his weakness, which is his recovery. They created a weakness for him and accentuated it. Like, he has a really shitty recovery. And I wish, like, that's the mentality they go with from here on out rather than, like, normalizing everything. Because I just love how different characters can be from each other in PM. And I really worry that, like, everything is getting too normalized. Like, Zero Suit Samus is, I think, a failure in design in 3.5. Not because she's bad, but because she's boring.
I feel you, bro. All right,
Yeah.
so you want to bring up Kanye East's question?
Kanye East. How you doing, Kanye? Kanye East wants to know, I don't know how comfortable Guru is going to be answering this question, but which character is most deserving of a nerf? And then we are wrapping up on that bombshell. It's obviously Mario, right, Gallo?
I mean,
Obviously needs to be nerfed.
just
So
ask
we're not talking
anyone.
about redesigns. We're talking about nerfs. at this
Nerf
point,
to the
right?
ground.
Just nerf.
Anyone that Guru touches gets nerfed, so just be prepared, Warriors.
That's true, dude.
I'll say Game & Watch. Not because Game & Watch is killing everything, but because he has really dumb shit in his design. And he's still such a 3.02 character in a 3.5 environment, and it really messes with me.
I agree
And-
so much.
I will straight up admit I have a Game & Watch problem. I've gotten fucked over by Game & Watch every smashing round so far for the last 3 smashing rounds. Like,
But it's still brainless free pressure into up B.
right, like I look at that character and I'm like, how is an out of shield option that's frame 1 comboing into one of the most powerful kill moves in the game, which is Nair? Like, how is this happening right now? He just like he still has great combo escapes, and he has brainless combo setups, and he has such flexibility with the way his combos are. And I'm not saying that he's a top tier character. Game Watch is not a top tier character, but I do not necessarily love like certain aspects of his design. They don't feel fitting.
All right, so the character I think most deserving of a nerf is Fox,
He's the most deserving.
because I think he has the dumbest shit out of any of the characters when you look at it just by the raw data. Like, true, he gets like 0 to death or whatever, but I think that argument in itself is bullshit. Because people are always like, "Oh, it's so easy to just 0 to death Fox." No, it's fucking not. If you don't suck, you just fucking SDI
If you guys want to
shit.
play, if you guys want to play a fun experiment at home, play friendlies with your buddies for about an hour, and then switch to Fox, and you don't even have to hit start, and everyone gets mad at you. I can't even play Fox in friendlies without people yelling at me, and I'm not even good with the character. So that's a fun experiment if you want to see who your true friends are.
Yeah, like the only state it's like Fox on FD. That's the only thing I'll give Spacey mains. Like,
what would you
he
nerf
sucks
about? What would you nerf about Fox? Because this gets contested all the time.
back air because it's like too much of a wall that's just OP at the edge and shit, and it's just like shuts characters down. I wouldn't make it a sex kick. I would make it like brawls back air.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Shine.
How do you nerf Shine?
I would make it jump cancelable on a later frame.
Oh, so it's right now frame 4, or is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I think frame 4.
Yeah.
Or frame 3. I'm not sure. Because he has a 3-frame jump or something like that. 3-frame jump.
3
squat.
jump squat. Yeah, 3 frame jump squat.
Yeah. And maybe just like strength on like up smash and up air and stuff.
Yeah, you would nerf them further, huh?
A little bit.
Yep.
What about you, Guru? Who's the character you think needs to get
Can we all talk about Fox? Is that a thing? We can do?
I would say Fox, but since Gallo already mentioned Fox, I'll choose my second character.
Falco. No. Good.
I actually think Falco is in minus his down air. I think he's fine.
Minus is lazier for me.
Mine is more of a design thing. It would be Ike, but I don't think Ike is that overpowered. I just think he violates one of the principles. This is me talking, by the way. Just me. It's not
reflecting PMD
Project M development teams. This is just my
Disclaimer.
opinion. Disclaimer. He violates one of the principles that we kind of imposed on a lot of the characters, which was just commitment when it comes to burst movement. He still has a lot of flexibility with his side B, whereas characters like Sonic, Diddy Kong, and Wario, for examples, they had a lot of their movement and options taken away with their fastest moves. Like Diddy Kong, his side B, he was given he has to choose now at the beginning whether to kick or stick with the grab. Wario, his crouch option out of the side B was completely removed. So there's a lot more commitment on those kinds of moves overall.
For sure.
But Ike still retains that amazing ability to just dodge out of any situation or a move that normally requires commitment from the rest of the cast.
Can I ask you a little bit about that?
Yes.
About your opinions on that?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that is true about all of those characters, though, is that they all have relatively quick aerials in general. Like they have very low startup on any of their aerials, and they don't telegraph them very much at all. You know, just because you can option select, like you can, you know what I'm
Heck
saying.
yeah.
So I have to wonder, like with Ike. I mean, he has back air but it's very thin hitbox.
Still super fast.
Super fast.
I
Super
mean,
fast.
he still has amazing aerials overall. I mean, they may not be
Nair
fast,
is so good.
but
Just
Nair is
combos
so
with
good.
itself.
their coverage is amazing. Where to the point where I think it makes up for the lack of speed. And even then, like Gallo, mentioned, he has back air. If he wants speed, which is a lot more disjointed than it initially looks. Nair comes out relatively fast, but just the range on those moves, I think, more than makes up for his lack of speed in the air. Yeah, it's just that aside, I just think it again violates one of the principles that we put on, I think, 3.0 onwards. And I think him having that, I think, lends a lot to his being recently solid as far as tournament representation. I think the rest of the character is fine. It's just that one move that kind of irks me.
Do you think he can be
Design-wise.
good? Would you just like curtail quick draw, or would you like kind of remove its primary options altogether?
At the very least, I think I would want to maybe push the window for the jump cancel further. Kind of like what we did. We did the opposite to Diddy Kong, where we just moved the window for the kick so early on that you had to just make a decision right there. It encourages the active decision making. I think pushing back the window would probably get the same goal.
So
for
basically, if Ike is side being somebody close to him, his only option would be quick draw attack. But
right,
if
or
you
just go through the person, but he wouldn't be able to jump right there and just kind of bail on the situation, and just
That's
reset
an
back.
interesting idea. I didn't really realize. I didn't think about the whole like going through them thing. That's kind of interesting mix up.
That's just my opinion. Again,
What's your opinion on how would you nerf Fox?
Maybe just less potency on moves. Up smash, up air. The back air idea that Gallo had is pretty cool. Giving him broad back air. I would probably
Is
experiment
that
with as well.
realistic? I mean,
Melee players would freak.
it would be a big change. It would be a big
Changing
It's
any-
such a it's such
changing
a
any of
sexy
the-
back air though. It's so
Changing any of the
sexy.
top tier characters would, cause some backlash, no doubt.
No, but that would be huge, right?
It'd
Because that would
yo,
fundamentally change the way the character
my
plays.
God. It's so sexy though. I would totally.
will
be down.
say-
I'll switch to Fox with that back air. Are you
That
kidding
brawl
me?
back air is real sexy looking. Look at that.
Yes.
People initially had a lot of problems with changing Sheik's down throw, but in the end, I think the player base realized that in the end just how great it was to her game. I don't really see it as a flat out nerf with back air, just changing the way he would play. We can
Yeah,
give
it makes
back
some
air.
matchups more doable.
We can make back air more powerful. As a trade off.
Right.
I'm saying
not
it.
sexy. For example.
Just so it doesn't
all-
wall off like Ness or something.
Hopefully, all I'm saying is this: like, if Fox ends up getting nerfed, then obviously we can't discuss that like actual nitty gritty in between what's going on with DT. If he does get nerfed, I just hope it's not like what League or Riot Games does with League of Legends, where like a character is great and then they nerf him to the fucking ground, like to the point where no one even like. It's like a whole pit debacle over again, where like now people are
It's
like,
not even at the ground, dude.
It's not even exactly, but who plays him now? Who plays him now? You?
I do now.
You?
Now I do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring him to the top.
Okay,
It's like-
exactly. The fact that you have to do that is the problem with that philosophy.
But no one played him before. That's the thing. Only
Like
a couple players played him.
Yo, do you see that mega pit like complaint thread on Reddit right now?
There's like a million
I
of them.
didn't.
No. Basically, like Neon came out with people have asked for my opinions on Lucas, so here are my opinions on Lucas. And then some dude named Pixel Angel, is he good?
I don't know. I see what you're talking about though.
Yeah, Pixel Angel goes, well, since Neon made a thread on Lucas, I wanted to share my opinions on Pit as an experienced Pit player, and it was just like, I don't know, it was kind of whiny.
I mean,
I will
think
say
you
this,
need to
though.
be a really good player in a good region. and you have to be like playing against good people constantly to make a good decision based on like a character and how viable they are.
And
I couldn't tell if he was exaggerating, but he said Pit's down tilt is now 11 frame startup, which is basically melee Ganon up tilt. And I didn't know if that was hyperbole or not, because if it's not hyperbole, like,
Up tilt.
that's pretty bad.
I will say this though: if Fox gets that brawl back air, I'm gonna switch to Fox. That's how cute it is. I'm serious right now. I'm like saying it on the show. Like I will totally pick up Fox for that. back
Messi,
air.
how would you nerf Fox? I'm curious.
It'd be a. I think I don't want to fuck up the way he plays.
Would you nerf Fox?
I like playing as Fox, but I like playing as Spacies in general. But I do think that I would go with less potency, like Guru said, more than actually changing too much of the design. Mainly because like I feel like the character is fun to play against, has some really good things going for him. A lot of players can easily like see why he's such a cool and dynamic character, but I don't feel like you have to change like if you make certain things impossible with him, I think it takes away from the character in general. And like you said, like Zero Suit's like really boring. I don't want Fox to become a boring character.
Yes, agreed.
I want Fox to stay as fun and exciting to watch, but if you need to, then you just take down the potency on certain things.
No one wants to see the character become unfun.
Yeah, and I don't even, and like honestly, like I probably dabble with Fox like every once in a while in friendlies, but he's just a fun character to watch. So like that's the only thing. As long as he doesn't become boring, it keeps the character alive. It makes it easier for people to continue play him. If he does get nerfed, they're not going to really run for the wall and just be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Like I think as long as he stays fun and you just take away his killing power just a little bit, and he'll still be playable. He'll still be, maybe top 10 instead. And I think players will be a lot more accepting of that rather than changing his whole design. Although that back air, I'm just saying, man, that brawl back air is. I played Fox and Brawl, and that was like the only cool thing, dude. I love that thing.
Can I share my opinions on Fox? Because I feel like he's the one that all of us wanted to say, but we wanted to be original and say other things as well. But
yeah, let's nerf Gallo.
I don't give a fuck about originality.
Okay, well, the thing I wanted to say about Fox, I think Kanye East brings up a really good point in chat. You can nerf his tech rolls, right? Like one way that I think I would prefer to nerf Fox, because, just thinking about like melee players who play him and like how exciting he is and how interesting he is in some respects, even if it does feel like kind of unfair because he has such a dominating neutral, is I think I would rather make him more glass rather than curtail his cannon anymore. I mean, maybe I'd nerf up air. I think up air is a little absurd, but one thing I'm thinking about, the two things I'm thinking of is his recovery. Like, if Ness and Lucas have to have 20 frames of lag every time they do their PK Thunder 2 and land on the ground, regardless of how high they go or whatever, I don't understand why Fox is still like 5 or 6 or however many frames he is when he also has a side B mix-up. So I would turn his up B to have 15 to 20 frames of lag.
That makes a lot of sense because you're not changing the character at all, but you're definitely making him more punishable.
And then
that's the player's fault anyway.
And then I'd do what Kanye said. I'd make his tech rolls worse, so that because he already has tech and play shine, which is like so good, so he can afford to have like slightly slower tech and place, for example. And if you just increase his glass on his recovery and in his tech rolls, and suddenly those 0 to deaths Gallo is saying are like really hard to pull off, they become slightly more reasonable and consistent, regardless of Smash DI.
I'm down with that.
And it would normalize, like every character would have a better punch game against Fox.
If you guys haven't realized, this is application for the DT right here. We're trying to get this boy promoted.
I already tried that twice, man.
Rejected
twice. I didn't know Professor Pro or Sethlon well enough.
You didn't meet Rad hard enough, bro.
Wow. Is this you guys just hate against all the Rad Brown dads or just this specific one? Like, what's up with that?
Oh no, we're all racist. Don't worry.
hate the brown people, all of them.
Is there anything else you guys want to wrap up with? Because we are hitting up on close to that 2-hour mark. So, anything specific? Anyone like you guys want to yell at really quick before we get off? Besides everyone, Gallo.
Damn, son, chill, bro. It ain't even like that, yo.
Oh. God. No, I think we've covered a ton.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Wow.
I would just shout out that thanks everybody for tuning into Smashing Grounds. I know we've had like a really bumpy I think people forget sometimes. I don't want to like. I mean, I'm gonna do a little damage control here. Like Smashing Grounds is the youngest, like bigger weekly. Like we just crossed our 1 year anniversary, and we've had a lot of like people take over stream duty and hand it off and do different things. And our stream is like finally, I think, at a place where it's starting to get very consistent. And I really want to apologize to anybody who's tuned in the past and that's been disappointed with the production quality. We're in a transitional phase, and I think we're starting to get really good with it. So thank you for sticking in. I hope I see you guys a lot more often in there.
All right.
Let me know how you like my commentary. Tell me if it sucks.
Your commentary is great. There's one other person I have in mind that I don't really like their commentary.
Well, message me about that too. Just don't
I will.
pronounce it.
Oh, jeez.
I love all the RBD though.
Oh, thanks, dude.
They are the
Fucking
raddest of the
homies.
dads.
Lots of love.
Raddest motherfuckers.
Oh, dude, we want to see you. Come to the regional.
All right. So,
Monthly.
yeah, I mean, we're coming up on 2 hours, so that's going to be it for the show tonight. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Guru, for joining us again since the last episode was lost and never to
Yeah,
be
of
found
course.
again.
Pleasure.
Gallo, thank you for being Gallo. I think that's all we just need you in our lives.
You're welcome.
And NZA, thank you, man.
Of course,
everyone
man.
have
Thank
a
you for
great.
having us.
Oh, of course. And everyone have a great night. Yeah. If you guys want to check out that intro theme, it's on Gallo's SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Gallo Frequency, and he's got all that good
Wolfgang
music.
Gallo.
Wolfgang Gallo.
Yo, you think I'm talking about Odd Future, but I'm talking about Mozart, motherfucker.
Gallonius.
Good night, guys.
Wolfgang
Good
Mozart.
night.
That was his name.